and the ancestors are looking out for us. God hates is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flow letter.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Y'all get up in the building, man. We back up and running. We back up and running, kid. Hey, have you been unplugged? We in an undisclosed location. We had to relocate on these witches, man. These warlocks. They was trying. They got our low, man. We had to switch up on them. So that's why you ain't seen us in a while. We made a mad move and got the hell on. We had to pull the plug on prior events. We back in business, man. Hit me with that first question. Have you been unplugged? So many tapes coming out. It's a god doggone shame. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you haven't been unplugged, you're a potential agent. You could be a potential agent. For the last maybe like 2 weeks, been having a lot of deja vus. Remember Neo said when it was a deja vu, when he had a deja vu on part 2, I think it was Reload, he said the agents are coming. So the agents are coming. We had to get the hell on. Like I say, we still working on a documentary, and we finna get out. We still getting all the suckers in connection with taking down the master teacher. But they crank up now. What up, T? Hey, y'all, hit me with that first question. So yeah, it's glitches in the Matrix, right? As Mystery Babylon falls, the great Mystery Babylon falls, we got to get ready for the reset. Have you been unplugged? Are you still dependent on the system to survive? Are you still dependent on the Matrix? We switching the fiat out with gold. Yeah, we back in business, man. Hey, shout out my brother, my big bro, Mark. Hey, we're going to drop that Galactical tape tomorrow, man. Y'all tune in tomorrow, about around the same time for that Galactical Council meeting part 2. We're going to give y'all an update on what's going on in the Galactics. We brought it to you first. We still hear niggas walking around talking about, they still talking religious. This ain't about religion, man. They still talking dogma. And they mixing the two. What it do first? Shout out that boy Jeremy Hey, big bro, shout out big bro Mark, man. Yeah, so update, we giving you an update on the land. We're gonna be coming out with a tape called What is your zoo type? Because we found out that most of all of us, or really all of us on the land, got a zoo type. You got at least 2 zoo types. Tahuti's zoo type was the ibis bird and the baboon. So so each of you have 2 zoo types, right? Some of y'all might have even 3 zoo types. I got 3 zoo types. I got the bear clan, and I got the bird clan, and I got the feline clan, right? And some of you people, you ever see some people, they look like cats, or they look like a frog, or they look like a lizard or some type of creature, or they look like a baboon, right? So them niggas might be gorilla clan. You got the gorilla clans on the land. We're gonna come back with that zoo type tape though. And a lot of people been interbreeding with the wrong zoo type, and you wondering why shit don't work out. You got to breed with your zoo type. If you feline, you got to breed with feline. If you yeah, hit that cash app. Also, for you new people that's tuning in, we got 8 books out by the young elder. We're going to be dropping a book every month starting August the 1st. We're dropping a book every single month starting August the 1st. Right? So stay tuned for that. Right? And we already got like 4 of them already, you know what I'm saying, in the process of being done. So, but we already got 8 books out right now. You can get the 8 books for a $50 donation to the Cash App, The Young Elder. Leave your emails and the links. We'll send you the PDF form. You could go get them printed out if you want, or you just read them in your PDF. I was just reading that Scroll of Eyes books that I put out, and I was like, "Damn, man, this shit is too advanced." Like the Scroll of Eyes, the Ascension Manual was there one everybody talking about, right? The Ascension Manual gonna take you a couple months to read that. It's gonna take you a couple months to read the Scroll of Eyes, and probably the Book of Extraterrestrials too. We got pictures and things and everything of that nature inside the books. So it's 8 books by the Young Elder, the Dream Scroll, the Orion Group book, right? We got the Language of the Birds book, and the language. Speaking of the Language of the Birds book, if you notice, watch the birds, pay attention to the birds, because you notice you're seeing less and less birds, right? You're seeing less and less. Where are all the birds going? Right, and keep in mind the birds help the magnetic grid of the planet. The birds fly off the magnetic grid of the planet. They see using the magnetic grid of the planet. And understand why birds fly in formation. Understand why birds fly sit on power like it starts storming outside now. Right? And the birds, they gather on the power line when it's about to be a storm. Now, in the morning when you wake up, all this is in the Language of the Birds book. It explains, if you watch these birds, you can learn a lot. One of the things you can learn from watching birds is that when it's about to be a storm, if the birds feed during while it's raining in the morning, that means that rain about to go all day long. So they ain't gonna get a chance to stop, wait on the rain to stop. They got to go feed right then. So if you see birds flying in the rain to eat, that means that storm gonna last a long time, right? And this other detail things, like if you want to find food and things like that nature, if you see an eagle in between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning flying in a certain direction, usually he flying to a river, because they like to hunt in fresh rivers, and the river, like fresh water, lakes or rivers. So if you're looking for water and you see an eagle flying in a certain direction in a certain time in the morning, follow that eagle and walk in that direction, and usually you'll run into a river or lake within less than 10 to 20 miles, maybe less than that, maybe 2 miles, maybe a mile. Between, say, a mile or yards or 20 miles, it's gonna be less than that. The eagle ain't gonna go too far from its feeding grounds, right? So so in the Language of the Birds book, we detail things of that nature, and it's way more stuff than that. Like, if I was to ask you a question, hey, what is the smartest bird in the world? Somebody drop it in the chat. What is the smartest bird in the world? And it's really a family of birds, but what is the smartest birds in the world? Somebody drop it in the chat. Let's see how smart y'all is. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be doing a tape called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where we're gonna ask a whole bunch of trivia questions. We're gonna probably be doing that sometime next week. That's right, Pharaoh. Pharaoh, you smart. The Raven, that's the same family. The Raven, Crow, same family. That's the same family. Falcon, same family. That's right, the Crow. The Crow, the Raven really is really like the Raven, but they're the same family, right? The Raven, the Crow, is really the Raven. The Sparrow, all that's the same. They from the same family. So that's the smartest bird. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think it's the eagle or the owl, right? But it's really the crow. And crows represents new birth. Crows represent, we talk about all this in the language of the birds book. Crows represent a passing, right? Because they always try to associate dark or black with evil. You know what I'm saying? They got angel food cake black. The negative side of a battery post is black. Everything got to be negative or dark or deep or scary when it comes down to black or the color black, right? Yeah, falcon is the one at the top of the food chain. Falcons and eagles. But we go into like details on this stuff in the language of the bird book. So like I say, we got the Dream Scroll too, right? The Orion Group book, the Galactic Family of Life book, the Book of Extraterrestrials, Volume 1, right? The Hustles Manual, Volume 1, right? The Scroll of Eyes, right? The Ascension Manual. Some of y'all got that Ascension Manual already. Like I say, you can get all 8 books for $50 cash app to the donation. $50 donation to the cash app, the Young Elder. And we'll send your books over within 10 to 15 minutes if you do it while I'm on here once we get off, right? And so we talking about being unplugged. Like a lot of people are going to like go along with shit like remember the jab. They came out with the jab, you know what I'm saying? And niggas went out and got that. But most of those people have been unplugged, right? A lot of people that go out and just go along like bots and cattle, right? They hadn't been unplugged. If a lot of people, to me, if you still going to church and you ain't going and you going to like listen to a preacher tell you something about Jesus, to me, you ain't been unplugged. To me, you ain't been unplugged. People that still going to church ain't been unplugged. Now, it's different types of churches. You got family churches. They going, they raising money. They helping the community. That's a different type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about beings that just going and still going with, they still stuck in these schools. But at this point, if you still in them schools, we ain't knocking you, but most of those people are comatose. Look up what the word comatose mean. Look up what the word comatose mean. If you ain't got to where we at by now, man, it's probably too late for you. If you ain't got, it means they suffer from an illness. They've been asleep for a prolonged amount of time. And you remember what Morpheus told Neo in the Matrix when they woke him up. They said we usually don't wake people up after a certain age because they can become dangerous. They can go into shock. Right? So a lot of people, you gotta go back to the Israelites, right? Because we like to use the Bible. So people say, yo, why you use the Bible still? You gotta keep in mind, a lot of the stuff in the Bible is not religion. It's like history. It's like prophecy, like the Revelations. The Revelations wasn't even really supposed to be part of the book. It was the Injil separate from all of them books. They took out King James in them. They took all these books and put them together and said that they called it the Bible. Biblos, little book, basic instructions before leaving Earth, some people say. But for my Bible guys, because most of y'all are in America, some of y'all coming out of Islam, some of y'all coming out of Christianity, and most of these, when I sit amongst a lot of these Hebrews, these Nubian Hebrews, or what do they really call themselves, Black Hebrews now, which is really that's another story. But you know what I'm saying? These Black Hebrews, I go sit amongst them and listen to them teach, and they really are not Hebrews, especially when they call themselves Pastor Paul, right? You should be Rabboni Saul if you say you're a Hebrew, first of all. And then they sound like they teaching Christianity to me. So they sound like really Coptic Christians who keep the law. They're not really Hebrews. And I understand because they really Christians come into the Hebrew thing and they really just but they so cocky and so prideful that they're not even willing to go out and learn the Hebrew language. A lot of them. I'm not talking about all the camps. I'm just talking about it's a few camps. They're not even really, they say they're Hebrews, but they don't even want to learn the Hebrew language. Now, what kind of crap is that? What kind of crap is that? You know what I'm saying? But they haven't been unplugged, really. People that's walking around, you saying you're a Hebrew and you can't go into depth on that because Hebrew ain't really a race of people. Hebrew is an event or something that transpired, and it means to cross over. So people who crossed over can be called Hebrews. So therefore, the Moors who were travelers, like Mansa Musa and Abu Bakr and them, who traveled over here, they can be classified as Hebrews because they crossed over the great beyond. Right? So anybody that crossed over and came over to America could be called Hebrews. Now, here's the thing. We didn't cross over here. We was already here. We didn't cross over here. We was already here. Did I just say it again? We didn't cross over here. We was already here. So how could we be Hebrews? Now, that's just one perspective. Now, you can say we Hebrews from this perspective, right? Because Mansa Musa, Ben York, them, all these beings that crossed over, these Moors, these Melodians, these also the Hoshin dynasty can be classified as Hebrews because they crossed over the Pacific to come over to America, right? So from that perspective, if you say, okay, all right, well, the Yamasi who mixed in with Mansa Musa and them and Abu Bakr and them, and before then the tribe of Shabazz who came over, right? But they really didn't. They crossed over, but they didn't cross over a river. They crossed over though, but they didn't cross over a river. But the tribe of Shabazz, you probably could classify them as Hebrews because they came over. So from that aspect, being that we mix with them beings, we can be classified as Hebrews. But from the origin and perspective of us, we was already over here. And the beings who came over here was Hebrews mixed in with us, therefore making us descendants of the Hebrews as well. So you can go from that perspective. But anybody that come and saying they woo sabat and then explain all that to you, and they say, no, we ain't Hebrews, or no, we ain't Moors. When somebody go out to say, no, we ain't Moors, now if they say all of us not Moors, sprue us might not be Moors. No, that could be a perspective, but most of y'all are mixed with Moors. I know how you know? Because you don't got the nappy hair. The Moors didn't have nappy hair. The Moors had like the Hindu type hair. And that's why all you niggas don't got the 9 ether over here. You got 8, 7, you got wavy hair. A lot of y'all. Because y'all got the tribe of Shabazz in you. Just like Elijah Muhammad said. I'm telling you, man. Have you been unplugged? Now the Armax depends on how you spend it. They can be classified as Hebrews. Now look at this. How was the Armax getting over here? You think they was walking? Did they walked over here? Or did they have some type of craft? Because we're gonna be getting into that. It says your game show. Yeah, I did a show called Are You Wusabat? You know what Wusabat means to be is to sum it up, it's the elite, the elect, the electrified ones, the enlightened ones, the ones who activated the third eye. the enlightened ones, the elite, the Illuminati, the green light ones. That's what. So to gain Wu Sabat, you must gain the 720. See, you got three. You got. They say, oh, you got 3 degrees. Then you got, they go up to 33 degrees in their order. And then once you get into really figure out what's going on, you see the 360 or the 90, then the 360, and then you get up to the 720, which is the complete degrees of perspectives. The master teacher put out a whole series of books called The Degrees of Muhammadism, Degrees of Christianity, Degrees of this, because all of them are angles, all of them are point of views, all of them are perspectives. You must gain all the perspectives to become Wu Sabat. You must gain all 720 degrees. The Armax, right? Then the Armax were a crossbreed race, right? Maybe 4 or 5, or maybe 3 or 4 or 5 species. Because the first 2 species on here on the planet, it's classified as like human type, were the Sandsman and the Twi. The Twi being the first, then the Sandsman, which was an engineered species by the Anunnakis. Right? And then those 2 species mixed together and created a whole nother race of people called the Bantu people. These Bantu people, the Anunnakis were coming down, mixing in with them. They were mixing in with the Lulus too. We could get into that too, because it's a lot of stuff that what we was doing is going back and getting the scragglers, by putting all the religious tapes out, the Jesus, this and that. We was going back getting the stragglers. We already put the high level shit out already. First, we put the high level shit out first. And then we saw that people weren't ready, so we had to go back get the scragglers. So if you go back to our old tapes, we already put the Ascension Manual classes out, talking about the chakras, how to activate the chakra, third eye, all it. We wrote the whole book on it called the Ascension Manual. You want to get there, like I say, you can get all 8 books by the Young Elder right now for a $50 donation to the Cash App. And it'll help us out, being that we just moved and we had to pull the plug on the last operation. Right? We had to pull the plug because they got in on us. They was able to sneak in on us because people not unplugged. You got to be careful who you hook up with, because they might not be unplugged and they could be a goddamn potential agent. Just like this. Yeah, it's more pyramids in the USA, America, than it is in Africa, the whole Africa put together. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it. There's more pyramids in the United States, not just North America. I ain't counting South America. There's more pyramids in North America than it is in the whole Africa. Now, some niggas gonna think they smart and say, oh yeah, but you ain't count Sudan. Yes, we did, nigga. We counted Sudan too, nigga. Nubia all the way down to Kilimanjaro. But you niggas probably don't even know what that is. Kilimanjaro, y'all don't even know how it got his name. Right? There's more pyramids in America. And check this out. If you go pull up corn on the wall in ancient Kemet, you'll find they had corn in ancient Kemet. But corn is origin, it comes from America. Corn comes from America. If you go pull up watermelon, you'll find out watermelon go back about 5,000 years old in ancient Kemet. And if you go in the Grand Canyons, parts they won't show you, you'll find out there's drawings of watermelon on the wall. How did they get that shit over here? Unless we were going back and forth the whole damn time. We've been going back and forth thousands of years, trading amongst us, because we all the same people. That's the game that they running. They try to separate us, man. You got to keep in mind Lucifer game. Conquer and divide. Divide and conquer. Separate them. That's this Lucifer game. He don't want you to know that the whole world was one people, man. Come on, man. Stop playing with us. We the elite. You can't trick us. We Wu Sabat, my nigga. We going to Wu Sabat. You can't trick us. Yeah, they do corn. Yeah, in the rituals over there, right? Mozart Great. I think that's how you say your name. They use the rituals over there, right, with the corn. But the corn is origin in America. not Africa. So how did they get corn over there if they wasn't the same people going back and forth? If we ain't been had ships selling back and forth for thousands of years, man. Come on, man. They trying to see what they trying to do. They trying to tie us in with them. See, they the caveman, and they want to start us off with this caveman, with the caveman like the first man. When the caveman was the caveman, we was selling back and forth, my nigga, thousands of years ago. So all of us is really one people, because the Afar people, some people don't even know what the Afar people is. Go look up the Afar people. The Afar people, every tribe has a mirror tribe in America. The mirror tribe to the Afar people is called the Shoshone. Go look them up. Look up pictures of the dark-skinned Shoshone, and then put them next to pictures of the Afar people, and you'll see the connection, the same people, pretty much. Look up the Shinnecock people who got the bug eyes. The Shinnecock people got the bug eyes. The Watusis got the bug eyes. The bug eyes is the Watusi trait. And the Shinnecocks over here, which is up my northern tribes, matter of fact, they got scattered from New York all the way over to Washington, Seattle. So they might be in Detroit, Michigan, Chicago. This was my Shinnecock, New York, upstate New York. My Shinnecock, some of them real black. They like Omar Epps. Omar Epps is, you know how Omar Epps got them bug eyes? He is Shinnecock. Right? We really just going in on anything, on a whole bunch of stuff. But have you been unplugged? Nah, brother. Go look at ziggurats. Nah, brother. Those not ziggurats, brother. The ones that's built in America, the mounds. Look, a lot of the pyramids they tore down. It was a lot of pyramids down the Mississippi River, which is the Nile of the West. Those stepped on pyramids that they don't even tell you about. That's in Philadelphia. It's pyramids all over underground, especially in Philly. I'm telling you, man. And you want to know who built those pyramids? The Moors, not Olmecs. Olmecs didn't build pyramids. You did in your brain. The Moors, the 200 fallen niggas who were laying brick and taught them people how to lay brick and stone. They were the Masons. The niggas that wore the fez that came from Mars. The 200 the Gigis, where it was 300. 200 came to Murdoch's wedding. They were the ones who taught the humans how, like I say, the Anunnakis were building ziggurats. The Anunnakis were building ziggurats. The Moors built pyramids. Why? Because it goes back to they descendants called the Naga beings, who are these serpent-type beings who came from Bagabuti, who used to build mounds on their planet that they lived in. And that comes from a genetics from them with the cobra and things. We already broke all that down. A lot of this shit might go over your head. But the Moors, they ships that they came in when they came here were pyramid-shaped ships. The Moors, the people who you call them Moors. And they got that name after they landed in Ur Chaldea. Yeah, they weren't even called Moors. They landed in Ur Chaldea. They were called, some people call them the Etruscans. Somebody say, oh yeah, them niggas Etruscan niggas. Some people call them Centaurians. Some people call them Nirvanians or Hindus. Right? And then some people who spoke a language called Akkadian said Moors. Those one, because Mu means one who's of, like Mu Salam, one who's of peace. So they said Mu, those who of Aura, or Chaldea. So those of Aura who were Shabazar and his people, who became known as the tribe of Shabazz, who sailed around the coastline of Africa and jumped off and began mixing in with different groups of people. And the last group, one of the last groups they mixed in with was these Dinka people, right? Or these Dogon people who was in that land, and they became known after they mixed in as the Mandingos. Mansa Musa and Abu Bakr now, the Melodian Moors. And then those beings sailed over to America, 1300s, and began mixing in with your Yamasee, Native American Indians, and Muskogee over here. We could get into it. Let's dance. The Anunnaki spoke several different languages. But Akkadian is a dialect of the language which they spoke. They spoke a, it's like a cuneiform. It's cuneiform when it's written in a form. And then these Moors or these Etruscans or Centaurians, they spoke a language called Sanskrit, which if you study Latin, you'll see the connection. You'll see a lot of the language on the planet come from those two languages, cuneiform and Sanskrit. And the master teacher created a language to give us the same tones and get us back to the tones called Nuwapu or Nupu. Yeah, or it says a Hindu is a false identity. Yeah, well, they got different names. Like I said, it depends on who's calling, who's talking. So I said some people call them Hindus. Some people might call them fallen niggas, fallen angels. Some niggas had different names. Nephilims. You know what I'm saying? They got different names. You know, it depends on how deep you is and how much Wu Sabat you is. It depends on how you want to go with it. You said the grandfather of Hebrew. What you mean by that, Moshe? Yeah, when you become Wu Sabat, these Etruscan flip our language. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Dread. Stop. Yeah, when you come Wu Sabat, that means you become the enlightened one. You got to glow. You got to feel it's right. You got to glow. You got to feel it's right. Bruce Leroy went around looking for the master after he had became the master. And you know where he went looking for the master at? At some dumb guy. Listen to that. The name of the restaurant when he went looking for the master, when they said he didn't even know he was the master. He had learned the master had gave him the last key. The master gave us really the last key in 1997 at the Osiris procession. And niggas are still waiting around, looking around right after that for more and more. But he had already did it at the 1997 at the Osiris procession. But right after that, niggas went out looking for some dumb guy. You know what I'm saying? You niggas was masters supposed to be Wu Sabat, headed to Wu Sabat. He gave you all the clues to make it to Wu Sabat. You niggas are supposed to be headed to Wu Sabat, but a lot of the niggas went out right after that and went out looking for some dumb guy. Right? When Bruce Leroy got to some dumb guy restaurant, there were three stooges out there that he had to get by or convince or scare up to get to the back and find out that AI was running the whole show the whole time. Yeah, some dumb guy. So a lot of niggas out here don't know they the master and they still looking for some dumb guy. I'm telling you. It's right. Which is my father. Take day where some Hindu niggas cooking gumbo. Yeah, but the 200, they really got off bad because of the bad deals that they were getting with the Anunnakis. To make a long story short, they got promised coochie. They didn't get their coochie, so they came and took coochie. Niggas say young elder mine in the gutter, but that's the real truth. when you become Wu Sabat, that's what you found out. The devil didn't fall for none of that other crap that they told you. Man, they had made all that up. He fell because they took coochie. The war was over coochie, man. We already pointed that out. Go read Genesis chapter 6 again, and then come back and talk to me. For you Bible guys. The sons of God came down and took women. Why would they take women? Put it together. Was they just taking them just to take them? Because they want. What were they trying to get from those women? They took them and put kids in them. So they must have been after Sakuchi. Come on, man. That's what the war was about. Coochie will make a man go against God. Not only a man, coochie will make an angel go against God. Hey, niggas get mad at me, man, because I'm just the straight up truth. The way Rama and Krishna addressed Victor, the same way we address. Yes, some of these beings, you got to keep in mind, like some of the groups that came, or the Hindus were benevolent. The Naga beings, some of them were benevolent. Some of the beings were neutralizords, and some of them were disagreeables, like Shamgazu and them. And there were different types. They had different types of these, what would be classified, what they call the Hindus. But for the most part, we're dealing with the dark-skinned ones. What's wrong with you, Hakeem? I'm going live right now. Since I left, where these? All right, so the Centaurians, really, they origin from this planet, because you got to keep in mind, humans been around billions of years on Earth. What they classify as humans, and as Earth has had calamities, or has been destroyed, or not necessarily destroyed, but had to be replenished after something happened several different times. And the Anunnakis is really a reason for a lot of these calamities, because there's a lot of mistakes they made. And sometimes they would abduct these humans off the planet and then take them to another star system while the Earth reset, and then come back and just replenish or replant humans here, right? In some cases, or replant certain seeds, which is really, they were breaking a lot of galactic laws by doing that, which is why they are under the scrutiny they under now. But they would adopt humans, which they were adopting at that time, these Almac beings, right? What you call them the Almacs, and taking them to other star systems. So they took some of these Almacs and some of these Twyman and Sandsman to other galaxies. And one of the galaxies they took them to is called the Centaurian star system, which is pretty much one of the closest ones to Earth. And in turn, they gave them a couple advanced technologies to where they could develop on their own, and they left them to themselves. Well, eventually, due to the type of star, it's like a red star and a blue star in the Centaurians, and due to the type of stars that they were under, they developed different looks, different skin tones. Some of them came out with blue skin and different color skin. So all Hindus didn't have, some of them had green skin. All right. Some of them had green skin. It depends on what type of planet and the environment that was conducive to them. Because some of our skin was green at first, like the reptilian color of skin, before we started getting more iron into our blood, causing the rusty brown color. But a lot of us was green. Now, a lot of these Hindus were green. Now, the Watusis got Hindu in them. And Osiris and them had used these type of avatars. So that's why when you see on the wall in ancient Kemet, you see Osiris is green, or Neith, and these different people as green on the wall. What you looking at them is in a Hindu avatar called a Watusi. These Watusi, they came here with green skin and eventually turned dark. Hey, what's funny? What's funny bigger than that? What's funny? Because like you think we a comedian. So what's funny? You think what we saying is funny? Or you think what we saying is bullshit? What you got? What you got? Let's dance bigger than that. So we boot demons. And we catch everything out the air with no goddamn on mitt. So you come in here to you think we funny? Think we telling a joke? Says what about the prison planet theory? What do you mean? There's several different aspects on it. On a prison planet. Some people say this is a prison planet, right? That this is a school, hell. That some people say the religions teach that we were sentenced here as prisoners, as that we all fell from grace. What you in is a game, a simulation. Study the photon belt. Study a camera reel, the old school one that they put the reel on and it rolls through a film and they flash a light through that particular film and it rolls on a reel. Study that in connection with the photon belt. And then once you find out that, you'll find out that you're in a movie that's already kind of pre-wrote. And it's already governed by a thing called a trilateral constitution, meaning there's got to be three things going on at one time. That's why it's height, width, and length. Up, down, and around. Past, present, future. Right? They tell you about God and the devil, but they don't tell you about the third person that sits in the middle of God and the devil. Who sits in the middle of God and the devil? Huh? They tell you about hot, warm, and cold. The Holy Ghost, the Father, and the Son. They go to these three are one. They go into three. They give you this, everything is three here. A person, place, and thing. That's right, Melchizedek. And you got to figure out whose side you on. A lot of people suffering because they haven't figured out what side they on. Those who have joined the devil, they balling out of control. They riding around in yachts. They smoking $2,000 cigars, wearing $10,000 suits, messing with the girls and all that, taking parties. They down with old loot. And for a couple years until he say he betray him and stab him in the back. And they be like, man, why you betrayed me and stab me in the back? He be like, man, I'm the damn devil. That's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, why you act? So the devil, hey, nigga said when the devil stabbed him in the back, and the people that did the deal with him say, hey, devil, why you stab me in the back? The devil say, man, that must be a trick question. Nigga, I'm the devil. That's why I stabbed you in the back. Huh? That must be a goddamn quick trick question you asking. You know what I'm saying? So you make a deal with the devil, be looking to get stabbed in the back. Nigga, that's inevitable. He the devil. Huh? How the hell you think you think he gonna be good with you? That would make him the devil. So have you been unplugged? Or are you still walking around like all the rest of the bots? Ready to take the next orders that these killer clowns give, or these de facto deep state government. We ain't heard nothing about about the votes and all that. You ain't been hearing nothing about the election. Why? Because it probably ain't no damn goddamn election. We ain't heard nothing about it. They usually have a debate every 2 days. They have a debate, they running campaigns. We ain't heard shit. So there's a lot going on in the background, and what it is the news ain't playing a lot of shit out. Like all these celebrities that's getting arrested, all these celebrities that's snitching on each other and on house arrest. because they telling on people. You see? But it's all good. We ain't have to say no names because we some real street niggas and we keep it gangster, we keep it street, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But we're just saying it's a lot of shit. The industry is being taken down right now. The shit that FaZe was talking about the industry going down, about all this murder music and this drill music, all that shit's got to go. You see what I'm saying? And in the background, it's going down. And I'm saying, damn, they niggas ain't learned since they watched They Clone Tyrone, or how they using the music to manipulate niggas, right? Where we replace it, we're gonna go back to the old analog. Niggas finna do analog, and we finna go back to the people all around the world. Join hands, join the love train, love train. We're going back to that shit. We're going back to, you gotta sample some of that old shit for niggas to feel it. You gotta go back and play. We're going to analog. All this synthetic shit and this ping pong and jumping off the wall shit. Now, I ain't gonna lie though. I see how my dad and them felt when we was listening to Cash Money and the Hot Boys and all that. You know what I'm saying? That they probably said, "Oh yeah, that's some ping going when that was when the Hot Boys coming out of the '90s," and we listened to E40 and all that shit, right? And the Snoop Dogg and all them. They probably said that sound like ping pong shit compared to, you know, Isaac. I ain't no Isaac brothers. They ain't no Franklin Beverly Mays and James Brown them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no Bobby Blue Bland shit. You know what I'm saying? No Patty LaBelle. That's that ping pong shit they playing when they came out with the Snoop Dogg, Doggy Dog World and all that. It's a doggy dog world. When they came out with that shit, that our people, older people, boys said it's sound like, but the shit, I'm telling you, that shit don't got nothing on the shit that these people playing now. At least Snoop Dogg and them were giving you a storyline. Snoop Dogg gave you, like, he went to the girl house, he got drunk, but when the fell asleep, when her mama called him in the house, you know, Snoop Dogg getting them give you a story. These young cats, they ain't talking nothing about, man, every line is, I done shot a nigga, gunned them down, I done pulled my gun out twice and tried to kill him, bring him back to life and shoot him again. These niggas, they going crazy, man. I'm telling you. You listen to the music today, man, it'll make you throw up. It'll make you throw up. Like, you will literally get a headache from, damn, nigga, you ain't gonna say nothing else other than killing the nigga in the song? Shit. Yeah, no, it ain't no Barry White. You know what I'm saying? And it may just be I'm getting old. But I know I ain't dumb and I ain't tripping when I listen to the shit these kids listen to. And I say, God, dog, boy, they ain't saying nothing but murder. But now, I mean, you can listen to one of them songs and it make you want to go out and smoke a nigga right after you get 3 minutes after you listen to it. They got some songs that make you want to go smoke somebody right after you listen to it, man. I ain't lying. It's demonic. Real demonic. So man, I'm telling you, bro, it's sick. The youngsters, what they listen to. I'm still like, I'm kind of like from the old school a little bit. I like a little bit of the, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I like some 90s R&B. I like I like funk though. You know what I'm saying? Cause I hung around old here. I like that funk. I like that James Brown, you know. I like that even though I believe James Brown sold us out a little bit working with the government with that say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. I believe he sold us out with that. James Brown was a nigga back then in the 60s and 50s that had his own airplane. Man, that nigga James Brown was making so much money. Now, hey, look, I ain't gonna lie though. I got to give it to James now. James cornered the market. James had his own radio stations. He had his own recording studio, and he had his own place where he could print up his own wax. So that means that he can record his shit, put it on wax, and then send it straight to the radio station and put it on air. He was the only nigga doing that then. James really was a bad man when it comes down to that music industry, which probably explains why he was the only nigga back then that was riding in his own private jet. And best believe COINTELPRO was using James Brown on that Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, the Killer Clowns, man. I'm telling you. A lot of the artists was getting used because they got caught with different the FBI hip hop police go way back. They ain't just start with you young hip hoppers and you Easy E's and you when you NWA niggas with attitudes. The COINTELPRO hip hop police go back all the way back to the 20s. 20 when J.F. Hoover took over 1924. They've been watching artists since 1924, man. And James Brown was being watched, and you best believe they caught him up in a lot of shit. And he had to bow down and be used in certain ways to neutralize the Nubians. I'm telling you, man. So don't be surprised if when the real all the stuff start coming out, you finding out, damn, who was really working against us. Now, do I think James Brown was working totally against us? No. I just think that he was a sellout in a way. Boosie was James Brown. I want to say he played bass for James Brown for a while until James Brown them fired him or he quit one and went out and did his own thing. And then he became his own star. Boosie Collins. So you got if you ain't unplugged or if you unplugged and you hanging around people that haven't been unplugged, you might want to get from around them people, man, because them people could be a potential agent. And what I mean when I say have you been unplugged, are you gonna, because the planet is trying to get rid of dumb people right now. The government, and it's really people that's higher in the government, it's a certain group of extraterrestrials who are trying to decrease the population. And they want to decrease the population based on intelligence. So if you retarded and you dumb enough to go out and let somebody jab you inside the head, we got to say it like that, then you deserve to get took out. If you willing to go out and let somebody jab you inside the head and then sign your name up right on the dotted line. So if you line up for that shit like that, if you line up if everybody lining up for these whatever they got going on, because they gonna have something going on coming up here shortly, right to the summer. It's like they started right when the winter began of election year. And I'm watching everything and I'm seeing that one fraction of them though look like they getting shut down, like they getting whatever they was planning, they getting ran off. So a lot of shit could not transpire because of, I think that we got the upper hand on the land now, being that a lot of these people are being arrested, like Diddy, and trust and believe, Diddy ain't the only one. Diddy is one of the high guys, but it's thousands of them that you don't even know about. That's right now. Some of them got ankle monitors on their leg because they didn't talk when I didn't told. They telling on everybody. A lot of people getting arrested because a lot of people getting arrested that they ain't showing you on the news. A lot of celebrities, a lot of people that was involved in this child or this human trafficking thing. So we ain't gonna go to it, and we got an inside connect on that, but we ain't gonna expose our inside connect. We're gonna say this. We know what's going on, and it's a cleanup right now. It's a big cleanup going on the land, but with the tribunal. It's a big cleanup on the land. So a lot of the industry finna be reset to where now you don't gotta sign a deal no more to be big and have your music going. You know, you can just have your own platform and take off. Set up your own platform and take off. If you unplug, you know how to survive at this point. If you unplug, you already got a certain amount of supplies saved up because you got to get ready for the switch over. It's going to take about 6 months to a year for the switch to happen. And all of these restaurants who de factoed out and who selling all this bad product and food to make Americans obesities and all that, they get ready to go out. They may have to change their whole dietary plans because there's going to be new laws coming out on the food that can be sold. You know, in a lot of countries, they don't even let them sell fruit and corn syrup in their drinks and they soft drinks. They got to sell real sugar cane, like in Mexico. It's a lot of stuff that's being sold in America to American people that's being banned in other countries. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that got America is a good country. It's just a lot of stuff that's a lies and a lot of stuff that got to be changed around, not for greed and big corporations, but for the benefit of the people on the land, not for no corporations no more. That's what's happening. The corporations been doing everything for their benefit and not for the benefit of the people ever since John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller changed all the medicine around, the petroleum and all that. And he was selling petroleum medicine and shutting hospitals down. There was a lot of stuff going down, man, that people got to go back and do their research on the land. Yeah, so it was about big corporations taking over and running stuff. Now all that's for the de facto out. All that greed, all that stuff that's not based on the beneficial of the people, that's going to go away, and the new system going to be reactivated, which they were trying to making it to the American Union and join Mexico and Canada and the United States as one country, right? That's really what they're working on. And the African Union, they want to turn the world into 4 instead of having all these countries. They want to have 4 countries: the American Union, the European Union, the African Union, and the Asian Union. They want to make that 4 countries. Then they want to run that from a one world United Nations. They supposedly they had already signed the deal under when George W. Bush Jr. was in office for the American Union. The dude Credo Mutwa give a prophecy about it in his tape. So supposedly this has already happened. And supposedly they're supposed to come out with the dollar's supposed to fall. They already deliberately crashing the dollar. You got to go back. At one point, you used to get food stamps. For all you old heads that know about the book of food stamps, there were different colors. You got the $1, the brown, the $10 brown, and they had the orange. They had the orange bills, the green bills. You remember we used to get the food stamps in the pack, right? But now they switched to the card. Now at most jobs and Social Security money for my old heads with the Social Security, for my old heads that get disability, now they want you to get on the card. They don't even send you the check in the mail like they do no more. So they already made money kind of like obsolete. They put everything on the card and made it electronic. Well, what they want to do next is they want to make it not only make it completely electronic, they want to come out with one currency for America, North America, count Mexico and Canada to the United States, and call it the Amero. They want to call this new currency the Amero. So that's what they're working on, and they still trying to not react to the Bull Act, right? They don't want to get into the Bull Act, right? But they're trying to bring out this one currency. And they're trying to make a one nationality card, and so the flooding of the immigrants is a part of this whole scheme and scam to create this new paradigm called the American Union. That's what they ain't telling you in the background. They talking about they fighting the border and all this, and really they letting people in on the border. Because you got to keep in mind, they'll let people over here, make them a U.S. citizen, because once they become the U.S. citizen, they can just they become a slave, and they can turn them into a T-band, and they can get more creditors, more debtors, so that they can get these T-bonds keep going, and so they can keep this government going. The more immigrants they can sign up as American citizens, the more they can keep this fictitious government going. And these people coming in on our land, not the U.S. government's land. They only got 10 by 10 square miles. At least that's all they had. They only got 10 by 10 square miles. So how they inviting people on our goddamn land? Now our Mexican brothers, they us. So we ain't tripping on them. My essays, they La Familia, right? My essays La Familia. So we ain't tripping on them. Half of the land they letting them on was their land anyway. Like Texas, parts of California. Yeah, you forgot about the Los Alamos, the battle at Los Alamos and all that. Yeah, that was Mexican land with Pancho Lavilla and all them. We can get into it. A lot of niggas don't even never heard of it unless they, they don't even get into that part. But we ain't want to hold you long. Shout out Big Bro, man. Hey, we ain't want to hold you long. It's been an hour. We like to go 45 minutes. We might come back tonight with another one since we feeling lit when the boys go to sleep. We might come back with another one. But hey, get unplugged, man. Stay on your game. Wadu.